Hi, kiddos. So, bear with me. I know Screencast-O-Matic isn't as great as the live version, but I wanted to go over the skeletal system with you today. So hopefully you have opened up the notes on your iPads, and as good students, as I always say, good students do what to their notes? Adds more. If you have your own earbuds, you can listen on your own, but we're going to go over the specific body system, our skeletal system. The overall goal is to know how this system works with our other systems to maintain homeostasis in our body, meaning how does it do its part to keep us functioning and alive. So this is skeletal system. So there are, as you remember from the bone mystery packet, there are 206 bones in the adult human body. There are more in the infant's body. And here's a good old picture. Sorry, my face is in the way. Can I move it? Oh, hey! I can move it. But, oh no, I can't go backwards. But anyway, there's 206 bones in the adult human body. Ligaments connect bones to bones. So a big question I tend to get is ligaments versus tendons. They both look like rubber binders, like this. Ligaments connect bone to bone. You might want to write this in your notes. Ligaments connect bone to bone, where tendons connect muscle to bone. The most common ligament torn, especially in athletes, is the ACL. And that's this guy right here, if you can see on my screen. But they connect bone to bone. Bones don't actually touch each other, they're connected through ligaments. Cartilage is like your shock absorber. A lot of tennis shoes are made to kind of assist cartilage to help reduce the shock in the joints. But cartilage, you only get a certain amount of cartilage when you're an adult, and as soon as that's gone, it goes away, which is why a lot of adults' knees hurt, or it's like bone to bone. So you see like in the picture, and cartilage makes it so like if there's a jumping, it doesn't hit bone to bone because you have nerve endings in your bone, and that can be quite painful. So cartilage does helps reduce friction in bone to bone. Bone marrow. So everyone thinks, because you guys are used to the bones in your own life that your dog chews, or when you go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you chew it, bones actually have a lot going on. Here's a hint on one of the answers to the learning target on how they maintain homeostasis. They are the makers of bone marrow, and which includes your red blood cells. So bone marrow is on the inside of the bone, as you can see on the picture. Bone is actually a very live tissue. When we do chicken wing dissection and we break a chicken wing bone, we do break a chicken wing bone. You will see on the inside of the bone is filled with red matter, which is bone marrow. And bone marrow is blood, but the not liquid part of blood. And as you can see on the screen, it contains red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. And we'll explain what those guys do. But yeah, so that's bone marrow inside of our bones. Ooh, ah. Bones, a lot of you know this because you hear drink milk for strong bones. Bones store calcium and phosphorus for later use in the body. So now we've learned they help make our certain parts of blood, and they help make calcium and potassium, which are needed for our systems to function properly. So there are 2 reasons already why bones are awesome. Next. Important cells. So as you remember Ms. Kirchner overly repeating the other week is how the body's organized is cells work with other cells to become a tissue. Tissues work with other tissues to become an organ, and organs work with other organs to become an organ system. So we are talking about the skeletal system, but that means it is made of organs, tissues, and cells. Well, bone cells are alive. We know they're the smallest unit of life. I'm trying to click. I love technology, don't you guys? Click. This thing makes me restart. I'm going to be crabby. Well, you guys can bear with me. This is fun, isn't it? You're used to this when I'm here anyway. So it's just like I'm there. It happens all the time. Here we go. So there's inside a bone. But bone cells, you guys can maybe after the PowerPoint here, you should Google what bone cells look like. And remember that their function is structure and support. And if you structure determines function, you will see they look like tree trunks. Here's the inside of a bone. This is the part dogs like, but you can see blood vessels go through it. You got bone marrow, you got compact bone. There's a lot going on. But as you remember, our overall function of the skeletal system, this is on the test, so you might want to write it down. But the overall function of the skeletal system is for structure and support of the body. It also does all these other things, but structure and support and protection too. So I always say it's like our cell wall. Um, so bones are alive, nerves and blood vessels go through them. Now we are going to learn some parts of the bones, not all 206. And I will help you out here. I know my screen cast-o-matic. I don't know if you can see the cranium up there. But up here is the cranium. I'll repeat that because I don't think it's there. It's the cranium. I know some of your notes might be cut off. So when this is fully done, if you guys could take a picture of the finished screen. Otherwise, I'll get it for you when you come back. But your head bone, I would use Seymour, but I have to use me. The head bone is the cranium. I always say you're cramming some knowledge in your cranium. Your mandible is your lower jaw. I always memory tricks ready. Here we go. Man, my jaw is sore. Man, my jaw is sore. That's the mandible. Your scapula is your, I'm going to go get Seymour. You guys ready? You're going to come with me. Let's show you on Seymour. So, here we go. Seymour. So you got your mandible. And you guys can go through with this too. Oh, ready? Me again. Erase, erase. Okay. Cranium. That's this guy right here. Cranium is your skull. Next one is mandible. It's this guy, your lower jaw. It's mobile. Your upper jaw is your maxilla, and that does not move. So your lower jaw moves by this joint right here. If you touch the side of your mouth, you can, right here, you can feel this move. So just do that. And you'll feel this bone going through right here. You'll feel this. This is what you're feeling. But man, my jaw is sore. That's mandible. You have your scapula. That's these guys. That's what you see when you like push your arms back in the back of your bone. That's your scapula. Okay. So scapula. Your ribs, your rib cage. It's called a cage. That's got this part right here, which is cartilage. So when you breathe, your lungs can expand, and then your bones don't break. So this is your cranium, or sorry, gosh, jeepers. This is your rib cage. And then after so this part's bone, the white part's bone, and then it moves into cartilage, and it connects with your sternum. Sternum you can feel, but that's your sternum. Okay, this is your clavicle. A lot of athletes push or hurt these or break them. Can be quite painful. You won't be able to lift your arm if you did. But again, really quick summary so far of the upper half. We got, if I can get it right this time, cranium, mandible. Man, my jaw is sore. You got your scapula in the back, clavicle. There's two. Okay, sternum, and your rib cage, which is between the rib cage and the sternum, are cartilage. Then let's go to the back here, Seymour. Okay, the back, this is your spinal cord, but the spinal cord is actually a group of nerves. This is technically the bone part, is your vertebrae. So this is your vertebrae. It's got all these different numbers. Little fun facts: if you were to damage or sever your vertebrae from here down, you're quadriplegic. If you were to damage it from about here down, you're paraplegic. So some people ask me, how do you tell the difference between the two? And it depends on where it's severed. But this is where nerves control your body, and all of them come together right here, which is why it gets its own protection. So let you see here. And it goes down into your tailbone. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with this camera. Bear with me. Okay, so this is what hurts so bad when you fall. We'll talk about that in evolution. So that's the top half. Sorry, this is so out of the... It's hard to screen. It's hard to record yourself here. So then we've got the arms. Okay. We'll start from the tips of the fingers. The tips of your fingers are your phalanges. Those are the parts that wiggle. Then the next part, you see here? You have these, above your fingers, you have these things called the metacarpals. Okay, metacarpals. And then these small bones right here, where am I? Right there, are your carpals. So phalanges, metacarpals are kind of in your hand, you can feel them. And then your wrist bones are the carpals. I always say that's why you have, if you know, heard of carpal tunnel syndrome, that's in your carpals of your hands. There's carpals in your hands and tarsals in your feet. So C comes before T, and my carpals drive my car. Little memory tricks for you. You have your hips. There's many names for the hips. Your notes call it the os coxae. There's different sections of your hip. Some people call it the pelvis, but that's your hip. But now back to the hand. So we got phalanges, metacarpals, and carpals. The forearm bones right here. The one on the thumb side is the radius. The one on the pinky side is the ulna. Memory trick alert. I always say you are rad because your radius is on your thumb side. So you guys are rad. So your radius is on your thumb side. But again, you got your radius, your ulna. The big upper arm bone is your humerus. Okay? And no, that's not what you pinch when you hit your funny bone. It's actually a nerve here. I'll teach you that. You can freak your parents out when we get back. But humerus, radius, thumb side, ulna, pinky side. And now the legs. So the legs, Seymour is very flexible, so he's going to do a dance for us. Okay, so same with the hands. You've got phalanges are your toes. The middle bones here, metatarsals. Metacarpals, metatarsals. Metacarpals, metatarsals. And then the smaller bones are your tarsals. So carpals are wrist bones, ankle and like heel bones are tarsals. Then you've got the two bones of the lower leg. I always say the one ladies cut shaving is your tibia. Your fibula is the smaller bone here. So tibia, fibula, tibia, fibula. And then your thigh bone, known as the strongest bone besides your teeth, is your femur. Femur. So that's the types of bones and the functions. So I would like you guys to write a 4 to 7 sentence summary on the skeletal system. Please make sure you include the function of the skeletal system and other ways that our skeletal system helps us. So function, how does it help maintain homeostasis? So structure, support, and protection, the names of the bones, some other cool things our skeletal system does, like we learned about red blood cells, potassium. So again, red, yellow, green your notes. Write a 5 to 7 sentence summary, summarizing all that, and don't forget to answer that crazy learning target. I hope you guys are having a great week and showing respect to Mr. Limbaum. But yeah, I miss you guys. Believe it or not, I am thinking of you, so I hope you guys are doing well. And we'll talk later, but I hope you guys did good on those bone mysteries too. Have a good night. Now I have to figure out how to stop it. Isn't this fun? Stop. I want you to stop. So yeah, now you can actually, this is a good, perfect timing. Because here, if you guys want to take a picture quick, this is it. So take a picture of that. Bye, you guys.